Hello, the internet. It is Saturday, the 28th of September, 2024, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome to Warramungo Dam. Hello. You're nice. However, last night, the frog action, goodness gracious me. The frogs out here were amazing. What? I saw a whole bunch of tree frogs. There was one right here on a rock. It won't be there now, of course, but I just want to show you exactly where it was in the daylight. Just sitting here on this rock. Can you even see that? Two eyes looking right back at me. Green tree frog on a rock. In nature, I saw him looking at me. Well, I saw his eyes as I was peeing. Native beauty. Sunrise in the background there. So please enjoy green tree frogs here at the Warramungo. Check this out. It's a shame that it's... Oh, that's a cane toad, but it's also a shame that you're in there, dude. What are you doing in there? Doesn't look good for you in there. However... What are you doing up there, the little beauty? And then come back out here. Look at this guy. Hello? You little beauty. Look at this absolute beauty of a tree frog. He is absolutely beautiful. Oh man, this is rad, dude. Look at that. Aren't they so sick? They start off as a little tadpole. They start off in a little egg. Little egg, and they become a frog. They become a tadpole and they lose their legs. Look at this. What an absolute beauty. He wants to go back up there. Where are you going to go? They kind of crawl, eh? Where are you going to go? Back up on my head? Okay, on my face. All right, I'm going to try to get this other one out of the toilet here. Oh, I will need a light though. Hang on, dude, I've got to turn my light on. Okay. He just came right onto the front of the lens here. He's tripping out. I'll put him back exactly where I got him from. There you go. Swish. Yeah, dude. You don't want to be in there. If I do this, do I lose points or gain points? I reckon I gain points for that. Look at this absolute beauty. You are gorgeous, man. What a lovely frog. Oh, there you go. All right, up you go. That's so sick. There's a gecko. Yeah, you're a nice little gecko. That's rad. But the other one that I was thinking, he must have ducked out the back here, because if you look down here, look in here. Just hiding in there. You're cool. There's more. Look at this guy. Look how big these guys are. Look at this. That's amazing. So cool. Get that off you. He'll hide in that little... Yeah, he'll hide behind that gap. Oh no, he's gone past it. Cool. So cool. Look how much food they've got up here, man. There's just an endless supply. That's why you see frogs hanging out in these places, because there's an endless... Like, when the light's on, there's an endless amount of food. Look at this gecko. Look at this guy. I see you there, upside down camouflage. Look what he's stalking. He's gone for that spider. This is the biggest one we've seen. He's just come out of nowhere. Where were you hiding all this time, dude? Look how rad you are. Look how big you are. What the crikey? Look, just look at the size of him compared to my hand. Look at that. Massive, massive green tree frog. Well, I came in here like 30 minutes ago to brush my teeth, and I've just been so sideswiped by all the cool frogs. I love the tropics. I love this stuff. Everywhere you look, there's a cool animal, and then there's the frogs just going, yep, we're here too. Love it. I'm just taking a night walk now, just around random areas, and anywhere that there's a water supply or a water source and lights, just a random water pipe. Just sitting on it. I'm sitting on a water pipe. Look at him. So sick. And then this one just sitting on this windowsill. That's rad. Lovely big ones. I kind of want to see a baby one somewhere. That looks kind of nice with that pink though. There's this guy up there too. And if you watched the live stream from last night, you'll see that that is the last of the streams for this trip due to power failure. There's got to be a bit of a rethink of things here. I need to understand more accurately what drainage is happening from the batteries as I'm using them. I don't think the kick-ass shunt does its job at all. It's been very inaccurate. In fact, it's never once told me that there's been power going into the system. It's only ever shown me an arrow pointing down a drain. There's been confusion and inaccurate readings throughout the journey, the last 35 days now. I think I've drained the 2 auxiliary batteries multiple times without really knowing I've been doing it. That's why the fridge has been cutting into low voltage mode repeatedly. That's why sometimes the Starlink just turns off. Sometimes the inverter will not turn on. It'll just wail and hiss. It's because it's not enough voltage coming from the auxiliary batteries, because the kick-ass shunt hasn't been accurately telling me how much is in there to start with. I think I want to investigate lithium batteries. I don't like that with the AGM batteries, you can only discharge them to 50%. That seems to me a huge waste of energy. So I think I might look into lithium batteries and bigger capacity. And then the other thing I'm going to look at is a bigger solar panel. I mean, the one that's in situ on the van can't change, but I can get multiple arrays for the ground, so that when we pull up, we can just keep the power coming in. So there's those things that have to be looked at. But for the time being, no more live streams on this journey. I'm off to see my brother on the Sunshine Coast. From there, I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but I'm heading slowly south. I'll keep creating content, but heading south. I'm just driving back here from the Waruma Dam, and you got to go through this little place called Abercorn. Just look at this little town. We've got the school over there. Pretty much what you'd expect from a country town school. You bend around this road here, keeping careful to avoid oncoming traffic, of which there is a great deal. You get to this weird intersection. Now, I need to take a right here, like a hard right, a big bending right out that way. But first, let me just show you the town. And that's it. That's it. That bus ain't going anywhere. Look at this old store here. Look at that. The old dance hall. I don't know what you were doing out there, George. Bird watching. What, Lorraine? What? And I mean, I don't want to poke fun at houses or anything, but here we go. Let's poke fun at houses. This is the last house in town. I beg your pardon, I forgot. There is another establishment. It is a church, unsurprisingly. Look how quaint this guy is. Quaint, can I use that word? You know what? It looks like the scene of a horror film, doesn't it? 17 young students were murdered here in 1884. They say their ghosts still haunt this town of Abercorn. But yeah, that's it. That's the town. In case you missed it, let's do a circuit back. I love it. Look at all the solar panels out the front of the church. That's cool. mean, they've got electricity by the look of these wires. They got a phone booth. 1-800 reverse. You can call anywhere you want. Telstra, keeping Australia connected. Let's do this walkthrough one more time, just for the sake of it. You get to this intersection. There's your old store. Whatever is in there, I'll give you a better shot of that. Whatever goes on in there, the dancers. German name, right? What was it? Abercorn. And then the town I'm headed to is Eidsvold. Eidsvold. And that's the intersection. I came out of there. And now we're gonna just get out of town by going the only other way out. Well, this is what road trips are about, right? Seeing stuff and hopping out and having a look. I just saw this amazing scene. This is a place called Gravelly Creek. That's just out of like a Bunnings store, right? I am always on the search for cool spots, and this is a pretty damn impressive little creekside, roadside stop, man. I'd love to be back here at night, but that can't happen. Well, folks, it has been hammering down with rain. The Bruce Highway all the way back from where I joined it when it was 2 lanes each way, and all the way into my brother's place here. And it is raining and cold. What are you doing back there, Benon? In those banana leaves. Rawr. Any frogs here, Steph?
What's that?
Any frogs in these banana leaves at night?
Not that I'm aware of.
See if we can't rectify this battery issue. Take this Anderson connector out, and in there goes the solar emulator that James made. That's going to put a constant charge in, tricking the BCDC to think that it's getting solar. Hopefully that does kick start the accessory batteries, because they're still on. That's on 11.2, and that's why the fridge still says low voltage. Hopefully this fixes it. Let's do it. Further update, that's not happening. When I plug that in, it's not registering on the BCDC that the solar input is there. So there's either something wrong with this, or, well, yeah, it's got to be this. But the only catch is I don't have a multimeter. James has always asked me, should get one. And I'm in a big city. Actually, my brother's got to go to Bunnings anyway to get some things. Great to have a tool set though. Steph's got tools here. So I'm going to buy a multimeter, and I'm going to buy a battery car charger.
You leave at 3 o'clock, you're still going to hit traffic on the Gold Coast.
A multimeter. I owned one of these and I threw it away. Steph lives at Moffat Beach. Definitely be having a surf in the morning. This is full tide too.
Yeah, this is full. You can walk out off the rock and shut that up.
What are all those black dots out there? People. I'm not used to that. Yeah, it's reforming, yeah. On a lower tide that'd be happening.
Hello, Alexia.
You happy? Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sophia. How you doing?
Good.
You're busted.
Bye.
I think I caused power issues when I arrived here. My van is all the power. The power's out here in Moffat Beach. Well, it's actually not. It's only in this house. Where's Zara? There's someone missing.
Zara's at her friend's house.
Is Sarah coming back tonight, sweetie, or is she staying?
Yeah, she's coming tonight.
So technical issues are not fully resolved yet. There was a headway made to discover a fuse was broken. That was the reason why the BCDC wasn't seeing the vehicle. So the vehicle light wouldn't come on when the engine was running. And so now that's working. In theory, I could go for a drive tomorrow and charge up. The BCDC should kick in and start putting the charge back in the batteries. I don't want to drive tomorrow because I want to park up and stay here and I want to go surfing. The irony is that here we are at my brother's place and there's a power outage. During all this sort of testing of the multimeter and the battery charger, my brother noticed that there was a power sort of surge happening in his property, and there happened to be some city electricians on the street doing some stuff, and brother just said, hey, can you just come and have a look at this while you're there? And they found a pretty major fault, something to do with the earth wiring not subsuitable. They were like, we are not allowed to supply you electricity in this current situation because it's so dangerous. Your power is being shut off until you can get an emergency electrician to come out here and redo this wiring. Selfishly, the ironing for me is that I'm in suburbia. I have access to 240 volt mains, but there's no 240 volt coming in. My fridge is now off again. I'm convinced all my food's going to be gone, right? It's going to be all done. But that's just the way it is. I'm cozy, I'm warm, I'm showered, I've washed all my clothes, I'm showered, and I'm thankful to be here. We're walking around the house with headlamps on and candles. So there's the irony of that. And if you enjoyed irony and you enjoyed that, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the morrow skis.